So, chat, what's happening in Haiti? Gang leader named Barbecue is now the most powerful man in Haiti as US evacuates Americans. We're going to have a look at the early life section of Haiti. And just see what we find. So, history. Okay, so that's the unimportant bit, colonial era. Spanish rule. Interesting. Do we have, oh look, French rule. So the Spanish ruled it for a couple hundred years, or about 130. Then the French ruled it for about 175, and then there was a revolution. So basically, French colony, all the worst third world shitholes, chat. You look into it, you look into their early life section, and it turns out they're French colonies. Originally Spanish, granted, but the French took it, and then I've seen a lot of reason to believe that their culture is influential. There is a Frenchman, yeah. Now it's a lawless hellhole. Now Haiti, as far as I know, has been for at least as long as I've known about it. So at least about 10 years, but I'm sure much longer than that. Has been basically an almost completely lawless shithole. If you look at Haiti, and then on the same landmass right next to it, Dominican Republic is pretty good actually. As far as I know, it's for being a third world country, it's actually not bad. Haiti, on the other hand, is a total shithole. It's one of the worst places in the world, and now it has fallen to actual lawlessness. Now, if you're concerned, chat, about the state of Western civilization, and you're the kind of person that wants to see a collapse, bear in mind that there will be a barbecue in our own countries, a warlord, after that collapse. And then we will just have to work back up through the stages of civilizational progression, right back from the beginning. Now, it'll be quicker than the entire history of humankind, and it will be whites doing it. You may believe that's better or worse, but it will still be the same progression, and there will always be a warlord. Always. That's every society, every single society that has ever existed, and every non-society will move towards it. There will always be a warlord. Yes, even in democracy, in monarchies, in every society, there will always be a warlord. The only thing that you need to do, in that case, the only other question is how civilized you can make that warlord be. Democracy is the best we've found. And there are other systems which are almost as good, but democracy is the best we found for forcing the warlord to be civilized. This, however, is without any agreed upon rules, without any controls. It's just might makes right. And what they apparently have in Haiti now is mass cannibalism. Ginger says, Haiti is actually that one place where they produce mud cookies. Not the only place, I don't think, but I'm sure they do there. Remember that from me a few years ago. It's possible this barbecue barbarian might actually improve the place. You know what? Yes, it is. Right now, they have changed from eating mud to people. Now, I would generally consider that a step down, and that is awful. But if an unworkable stasis is broken by total chaos, then at least there is a chance for getting a better stasis later. But I would not want to live through that. Absolutely not. And many Haitians are. So good luck to you. I don't know what I could possibly recommend. This is a news show, not a post-apocalyptic survival recommendations show. Haitians are just returning to monkey. Yeah, but with fully automatic weapons, though. And like modern technology. Some modern technology. Gang leader named Barbecue is now most powerful man in Haiti as US evacuates Americans. Haiti's most notorious gang leader, known as Barbecue, may be the most powerful man in the nation as the Prime Minister remains unable to return home. Yeah, that's not going to happen, mate. Unless someone volunteers to invade Haiti on your behalf, it's over. Now, someone has, and we'll get to that later, but I suspect it's not going to happen, or it's not going to work if it does. And actually, you know what? It could do, I suppose. But in that case, I doubt he'd give it back to its original owners. Or maybe he would, but maybe he shouldn't. On Sunday, the US announced that troops had evacuated Americans from the US embassy and additional forces were brought in to secure the diplomatic compound in Port-au-Prince. Did Biden evacuate? Did he send the soldiers in and then take the soldiers out and then get the civilians to run through occupied areas to helicopters to airlift them from a roof? Was that the plan? Because that was the plan last time. Pesto Pasta says it solves two problems: one, overpopulation there, and two, food shortages. Seems like a win-win to me. Jimmy Cherizier, leader of the notorious G9 and Family Gang, whatever the fuck that means, is in command of the bulk of the gunmen stirring anarchy in the capital, and he vowed to fight until embattled Prime Minister Ariel Henry resigns. Quote, "I am ready to make an alliance with the devil," he says, "ready to sleep in the same bed as the devil," Cherizier told his supporters last week as his fighters destroyed police stations and other government facilities. Is Cherizier barbecue the same guy? Yes, he is the same guy. So, notably, chat, you'll be amazed to hear that the revolt in this French colony is being led by a Frenchman. Always revolting. Some claim that the rifle-wielding 47-year-old, and he's holding a AK-47. Actually, it's not a thing. Actually, is it? No, I don't think it is. Nickname comes from his penchant for setting his victims on fire. Though he says it's an old moniker his mother gave him as a boy. Oh, lovely. Lovely. Well, you would absolutely expect the person running this to be a psychopath, and I have no doubt that psychopath's one of the earliest signs as they set things on fire as a kid. So probably that's what the name comes from. Sorry. That's probably what it comes from. This is different from the normal politics I cover, chat. Usually in the normal politics I cover, it's like the evil is being hidden somewhat. In this case, it's just like, no, he burns people alive and is revolting against his son. He kills people. He's a warlord. He's straight back to monkey, as was mentioned. The Field says, USMC has guard and garrison duty in all embassies and consulates for the United States. Well, that's lovely. But unfortunately, under Biden, they aren't always sensible with how they use them. Verdant says, but I haven't set things on fire as a kid, Verdant. You're way too autistic to be a psychopath. He likened himself to Martin Luther King Jr. during an interview with The New Yorker last year and was previously a member of the Haitian National Police. Oh, lovely. Yeah, exactly. Sure, why not? Why the hell not? Sure. It. He was expelled from the force in 2018 for alleged ties to a number of horrific crimes, including the slaughter of the La Saline slums in which 71 people were killed, 7 women were raped, and 400 homes were burned down, according to official reports. I wonder who burned the homes down. Have you got any guesses, chat, as to who may have burned the homes down? I mean, it's just not hidden at all, is it? It's kind of refreshing, actually, being able to talk about this so openly. I'm so glad I'm not there. I'm so glad that the laws of physics can't just be changed on a whim and I can't just be made to be there, because I would not be laughing if I was there. But because I'm not there, I can sit here and laugh at just how absurd this is, whilst well recognizing how horrific it is, and with sympathy for anyone there that's suffering. Still, just the absurdity of how horrific it is itself funny. Cherizier, who denied any wrongdoing, went on to take over the G9 family, which controls many of the slums and streets. Okay, so he didn't do anything wrong, but he did benefit from whoever did. I mean, it's just by pure coincidence. The gang leader's influence in the capital is so large that many view him as the man who will take over the reins as Henri's administration struggles to maintain order. No, it's not struggling to maintain order. It has failed to. Barbecue is now the country's warlord. It's over. As far as I can tell, it's already over. What are they going to do after they win? I mean, most warlords just maintain the existing structure. Like the existing command structure. They just then... Maybe it'll be more brutal. It might legitimately be more brutal after he takes... I mean, it's barbecue. Of course it's going to be more brutal. Grill, exactly. He just wants to grill. Old Cherizier, Mr. Barbecue Man, just wants to grill. Matthias says, for anyone worried about not accomplishing anything in your life, just remember this guy is leading a successful revolt for a given definition of successful at age 47. Yeah. Chat, if you're not 47 yet, bear in mind, this could be you. This could be you in a few years. I have a dream. Yeah, this is Martin Luther King cooking people. All right, let's continue. Unfortunately, Barbecue is now the most powerful man in Haiti. Jude's Jonathas, an independent consultant based in Port-au-Prince, told The Guardian. As people kicking burning tires. After Haiti's government declared a state of emergency last Sunday, videos and images from social media have shed light on how Port-au-Prince has deteriorated into a war-torn city on the edge. Chat, don't edge a Haitian. One such viral video from the Associated Press shows dozens of civilians running for their lives, screaming and ducking as gunshots are heard behind them. Yeah, not a good situation. Other images show armored vehicles patrolling the streets and heavily armed military personnel escorting a group of civilians through a nearly deserted part of the city. As the situation continues to escalate, the US military has said Sunday it has deployed additional security forces to the US embassy and called for all non-essential personnel to evacuate. That should have happened long ago, to be honest. US Southern Command said an aircraft had conducted an evacuation at the embassy building, noting that only Americans were aboard. Quote, this airlift of personnel into and out of the embassy is consistent with our standard practice for embassy security augmentation worldwide, and no Haitians were on board the military aircraft, according to the Southcom statement. So you can tell that this was unexpected by the establishment? Well, maybe. Because there's seemingly no grand plan for their benefit here. Like, they're actually conducting themselves in a reasonable way, evacuating the embassy personnel, as far as we can tell so far. So if this was orchestrated by the establishment, you'd already see things that are happening which benefit the international criminal establishment, but are, like, badly hidden. So far, I've seen nothing to indicate that. But hey, chat, I am very much open to you sending me evidence of it. US officials have said proposals for sending a UN-authorized security force to Haiti have been unsuccessful so far, with Henry failing to secure a deal in January, while in Kenya, suck these nuts. The embattled prime minister remains unable to return home as he arrived in Puerto Rico last Tuesday. Yes, Oda, I'm aware the Clinton Foundation has had a strong presence in Haiti for many years, but that is exactly what I mean. It would benefit them for the status quo to continue, I strongly expect. I mean, if you wanted to abduct children who wouldn't be missed, Haiti is probably where you would go. And that's where the Clinton Foundation were there, funnily enough. At least I have no strong evidence of that, but I have heard stories that imply it. Given that, again, why would they want things to change if it's already that way? Hey, maybe. Matthias shows a picture saying Haiti is estimated to have some of the largest oil reserves in the world. Interesting. So maybe there is a benefit to it. Then again, as I mentioned before, I don't think any of the establishment US actions have been for oil, because there's oil in the US, plenty, enough to last hundreds of years. They could just mine that, acquire that and sell it. But for some reason, they always go overseas. But there's always seemingly some other reason why they won't overseas. I think the idea that they go overseas for oil is just a convenient meme. I don't think it's ever been true. It is a funny meme, though. Yeah, okay, Matthias is sort of filming, that's fair, but I don't think it's ever been true. Now, I don't know exactly what the reasons were every time, but there are two main reasons that I would posit, or actually three main reasons I would posit as the primary things to look out for when the US invades a country or starts a proxy war. One is hardcore drugs, like poppies in Afghanistan, which was probably the reason there. Two is when the leaders of those countries don't play ball with the international criminal establishment. Gaddafi, I think, is often cited as someone who didn't, but I haven't looked into that. And three is just proxy war with Russia, trying to take Russia's power. And I suspect the main reason for that is that Russia as a country is basically a competing corporation in the military-industrial complex game. The military-industrial complex, which is several companies in the US, Russia as a nation, and China as a nation. And since China has, I strongly suspect, invested in US politicians, they're not competing with China. Instead, they're competing with China's competitor, Russia, which is probably what the Ukraine war was about, I suspect. So those are the three reasons to watch out for. And with those three reasons in your hands, you don't need to suspect oil was the cause. I don't think it was. Where was I? Luis Abinada, president of the Dominican Republic, which borders Haiti on the island of Hispaniola, warned Henry that he was not welcome in the neighboring country. Wow, based. Given the current situation, the presence of the Haitian Prime Minister in the Dominican Republic is not considered appropriate, Abinada said in a statement Saturday. This decision reflects the firm position of the Dominican government to safeguard its national security and stability. I want to actually see if I can find out anything about this guy. Have you noticed something about Luis Abinada, chat? If we go ahead and compare Luis Abinada to first mention of Ariel Henry. Now, I hate to be uncouth, of course, chat. But have you noticed something that's different between these two? Ariel Henry here, or Henry or whatever, he's the guy in charge of Haiti, which is currently falling apart. Luis Abinada here is the guy in charge of Dominican Republic, which is currently not falling apart. Yes, quote unquote in charge for Ariel. Now, have you noticed something different between these two men? Chat, any guesses? Can I get some guesses in chat? You could just type a single letter if you want. You can get some guesses of what's the major difference between these two men? That's right, chat. Ariel Henry, the guy in charge of Haiti, formerly in charge of Haiti, is French. And Luis Abinada is not. He's Spanish. So that's why Haiti is falling apart. Just bad leadership. That's what it was. Anyway, continuing. The violence in Haiti has been mainly aimed at Henry, who was appointed prime minister following the assassination of President Jovenel Moise in July 2021. I wonder who did that. Although Henry has pledged to step down in early February, he later said the nation's security needed to be re-established first in order to ensure free and fair elections by mid-2025. I see. Well then, Barbecue's actions may be slightly justified, or more likely it was a convenient excuse for the warlordery that Barbecue wanted to commit anyway. Maybe, you know what, it's always possible that Barbecue here is not actually as bad as the worst interpretation of him. That's the interpretation that he wants the locals to hear. But internationally, he wants to be honest that actually he's not a brutal dictator, like a brutal warlord, that actually he's just a somewhat brutal war, but not that brutal. That's a bit of a long shot, though. He probably is that brutal.